Among the world's richest people, two Indian businessmen have for years had their place secured, Mukesh Ambani and Gautam Adani. When the pandemic began, Mukesh Ambani was India's wealthiest person. He is the chairman, managing director and largest shareholder of Reliance Industries. But now billionaire industrialist Adani has replaced him. He is now the world's fifth richest person, according to Forbes. This year alone, Gautam Adani added $30 billion to his wealth, outpacing other billionaires. At the same time, scores of Indians are being pushed into poverty as the gap between the rich and the poor increases again. For more, we go to Delhi and DW's Charu Kartikeya. Charu, good to see you. 8 groups are saying this trend that we're seeing is reversing years of progress when it comes to lifting people out of poverty. Tell us more.
Hi, Chris. Good to see you. And yes, of course, this report, the trends that it is flagging, it has been flagged by several other reports as well. There are several rich lists that point out that number of billionaires in India is continuously rising. There's the Hurun list, there's Bloomberg, there's Forbes. Several other lists are corroborating the fact. But yes, of course, that wealth is not being distributed, and which is leading to this growing gap between the rich and the poor in India. That is also corroborated by several reports here. For example, the National Family Health Survey, which the government of India conducts every 4 years. There are independent think tanks also that have been bringing this fact out. There are international think tanks as well. For example, the Paris-based World Inequality Lab has also corroborated the figures, saying that 10% of India's population captures more than half of its national wealth. Now, this has several repercussions for the poor, for those who struggle in making their ends meet, and the pandemic has only exacerbated the situation. We are well aware that millions of people lost their jobs, millions were pushed into extreme poverty. In fact, the federal government itself has been going to town claiming that it provided free food to at least 800 million people during the pandemic. Now, that's a very, very significant number, and that it just goes on to suggest that things are so hard for millions of Indians, whilst a few, on the other hand, keep getting richer and richer. And the pandemic has only further exacerbated that. Chris.
Let's talk about one of these few that you mentioned there. Gautam Adani has become the 5th richest person in the world by adding $30 billion to his wealth this year alone. How?
Well, it helps that he's in the good books of the federal government. Gautam Adani's business, it acquired new heights when the current Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. That's when Gautam Adani got the initial fillip to his business empire, which has only expanded ever since. And during the term of the pandemic, the Adani Enterprises has ventured into several domains, largely in the infrastructure space. So from ports, from seaports to airports to coal mining, and now even cement. The latest deal for which Adani was in the headlines was acquiring India businesses of Holcim India, and now becoming essentially a cement giant also in India. So all these acquisitions have made Adani look like an industrialist who's ready to take risks and further expand the basket for which the Adani group of industries is known. And which is why now he is racing ahead of all those other billionaires that the India story was synonymous with, and now Adani is replacing those names.
DW's Charu Kartikeya in Delhi. Charu, thank you.